Gavin Keefe from the New London Day. Dan, kind of what stage you guys at in your quarantine? Are you going to be able to practice soon? And does it get any easier because you've been through it before?
Yeah, this is probably similar to the Mohegan experience. And it's it's definitely gotten easier. And we're hoping at some point later this evening to if we get the the negative test back, then we can maybe go and get some shots up. That'll be later in the evening, but hopefully we have 3 kind of regular normal prep days starting tomorrow, leading into Saturday.
Thank you.
John Fanta.
John Fanta, Big East Digital. Dan, you've talked about taking steps. Just looking at what's in front of you, what's been your message to your guys, and how do you approach this step for the program to be back in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I mean, we had 2 goals, really going into the season. 2 major things we wanted to accomplish. We wanted to, first year back in the Big East, we wanted to compete at the top of the league. We were able to do that in the regular season, and then obviously, losing the semifinal game to Creighton, and then making the NCAA tournament. Were really our 2 main goals for the year, and that was a big step forward for our program. But now there's a time of year where you could obviously take bigger steps, and it's obviously an exciting time of year. These guys have earned the opportunity to get out on the biggest stage in college on Saturday and play an exciting game.
Dave?
Dave Borges, Hearst, Connecticut Media. First of all, Dave, are you going to be practicing at Mackey, like busing back and forth from Indy to Mackey, like throughout the week? Is that?
Yeah, we get one day. We get one day at Mackey. We get a 190-minute opportunity there.
And I just wanted to ask you, how do you prepare for sort of like the defensive pressure that James will probably feel, especially from a guy like Morsel, who's obviously a defensive player of the year, and I would assume will probably get that assignment on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's a heart and soul of that team. He's a tremendous winner and a tough guy and a physical defender. So James is obviously, James has got to play, I think, and whether it's Morsell, who's a Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, or any other team, I think James is he's gonna play in the flow, I think, better on Saturday. And I think he's got to play off his jump shot a little bit more. James is a big time shooter. When he plays to it, and put your head down and trying to just strictly drive the ball against the guy of Morsell's physicality is going to be tough. So James is an all around scorer, and he just has to play to that on Saturday.
Eric Dobratz.
Eric Dobratz, WTNH Channel 8. Dan, you hear that Gino tests positive, and he just talked about just this. This is stressful enough, just this whole delicate process of all these hoops you got to go through. How stressful is this for you?
It's been like this the whole year. I mean, you wait for it every day, and that's why I got so much respect. For everyone in college basketball, all the coaches, all the players, that have kind of soldiered on and got through this type of season. I don't think people on the outside that haven't lived it and experienced it have any idea, what it's been like for the coaches and the players just to complete a season, never mind be at your best. So, it's no one will ever forget this year, and just give so much credit to all the programs, whether you make the NCAA tournament or had a disappointing year. People don't have any clue how hard this has been for the players and the coaches. especially people that, sit in their den or their living room and pick coaches and players apart. Especially those people.
Matt Reebok.
Hey, Coach. Matt Reebok, NJ Hoopers. I wanted to ask about freshman big man Adama Sanogo. What are you expecting from him in his first NCAA tournament, and how can he help your team make a deep run this year?
Yeah, I expect his eyes to be like wide open. This isn't the total NCAA experience. When you pull into the lobby, there's no dance team, cheerleaders, band, and fans. You go right to the testing. So it's not exactly like the same euphoria that you feel typically in these situations. But his eyes will be wide open. But he's a special player. Great player. He's going to see post traps. He's going to be in a very uncomfortable position in this game because they play 5 out. They play Dante Scott at the 5, and he's like a 3.5. And then they're going to trap the post. So if his position isn't super deep, he's gonna really have to do a good job passing it. So the guy has been incredible this year, and I think you're looking at one of the better players in our conference next year. But yeah, this game's gonna be a challenge for him because he doesn't have a traditional big to match up with unless Galen Smith is in the game.
Bill Paxton.
Hey, Dan, Bill Paxton, Rivals.com. How do you match up with Maryland? I mean, is anybody you've played that's similar to them this year?
I would say Villanova, when they play small, obviously, they go bigger with Galen Smith. Hamilton, has more size coming off the bench, but, he could really shoot it. I'd say that they invert you. They're playing 5 out. They're all really tough and athletic and have pretty good size. They switch a lot of things defensively. They really do a great job of turning it into a one-on-one game. So I would say Villanova, just in terms of them spreading you out and inverting you by posting their guards. They'll post Ayala. They'll post Morcell. And then the guys that you match up with the 4 and 5 with, Wiggins, Scott, Hamilton, all can make threes and drag your bigs away from the basket. So it's it's definitely not the type of conventional team you would see.
Thanks.
Roger, Cleveland.
Given the strides you've made in the last month, Dan, are you on pace where you wanted to be in year 3, or are you maybe even a little bit ahead of where you wanted to be?
I think it's just we're exactly where I hoped we'd be at this point. And again, it's not, just based on where we were. Every job you take is different. Some programs are closer. Some programs are closer to getting to this point than others. This was pretty far away, so I'm thrilled with where we're at. And it's hard, really, for me to get a sense of just how good we are. I think we had a chance the other night versus Creighton, potentially to show how good we were by closing that game out. But we don't win that game. But then there's like these circumstances that we've dealt with the whole year. I think we're a tricky team right now. I don't think we quite know what level we could take this to because we didn't win the game at Villanova late in the year, which would have been a statement game. But it's James' second game back from being out, and the chemistry's not there. Then you get to that showdown game with Creighton, and James is coming off of the full body cramp double IV bag, and you lose your point guard the last 5 minutes. So it's just, I think right now there's some mystery as to, who we are, going into this tournament, which is, kind of exciting, with our team. I think we're a hard team to predict. are we a one and done, or can we make a run?
Wayne Norman.
Wayne Norman, UConn Sports Network. Dan, rebounding has been a strength of this team, but you were minus 17 against Creighton. Does that become a focus in practice this week to reestablish yourself on the glass on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, we'll work on it lightly. Obviously you don't want to risk an injury doing a rebounding drill this late in the year. But yeah, I mean, we've done that well the whole year. We didn't do it well one night. It happens in basketball. Some of it was intention, just allowing the offensive end to affect, the rebounding. Poor offense affected the rebounding mindset. And some of it was just the ball bounced into places where there was a Creighton guy, long rebound off three. It happens. But our guys have been tough and have rebounded the ball well all year.
Chris Heidel.
Hi, Coach Hurley. Thank you so much for taking my question. Talk about Maryland. Maryland's been up and down all year. What about what do you think about Coach Mark Turgeon? Have you ever met him before? Is he a good coach, or what do you think about him?
Yeah, I think he's one of the more underrated coaches in our business. He's had such consistent success over the course of his career in many stops, as consistently put teams in the tournament and compete at the top of the league. So yeah, I mean, he's an underrated coach. When they talk about the great coaches in college, he's done it at a high level for a really long time, and I got a lot of respect for this team because they've been similar to us through their conference play late in the year. They were considered a bubble team and had to win a lot of conference games to get themselves into the NCAA tournament. So his team has had to show a lot of resilience and a lot of mental toughness just to play their way into the tournament late in the year in a very tough conference.
If I can follow up real quick, your brother played for Duke, and Duke and Maryland used to play a lot in the ACC. And do you remember any of the stories your brother told you about Maryland and Duke and how the rivalry was?
Yeah, those are obviously great games, great ACC rivalry. And he talked about how great the Maryland fans were to him when he was there. He said that they were very, very nice to him. And the crowd just generally, really admired him. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Mike Crispino.
Hey, Dan. Mike Crispino with UConn Sports Network. How difficult is it to prepare for a team like you're going to face one game, do or die, when you've never seen them physically?
Yeah, I mean, we all face the same challenge. I think there's a level of familiarity when you play in Maryland, when UConn and Maryland play, because I think a number of our guys have played against each other on the AAU circuit, or in the case of Ayala and Tyrese, who are on the same AAU team. So obviously, it's all about matchups in this tournament. And I think our bigger issue for both teams is, how do they handle, obviously the size of our front court, at least the way we start the game, and then how do we match up with their 5-out offense, where they put you in positions defensively that you're not used to being in.
Okay, time for one more, Dave.
Yeah, just Dan, I don't know if there's anything new regarding RJ from Sunday night. Is he still in the protocol? Any word on the possibility for being available Saturday at this point? Or
yeah, he's still in the protocol. And we'll see, I guess, where that goes. He had the minor concussion in that game, so we'll know more later in the week. But I know the medical staff is obviously is all over it with him.